Yes, people, how are we doing? We are back again with another stream, and I'm super excited that we get to basically break down the charts and really look at what price is doing. So we are going to establish a higher time frame bias, and we are going to look to see how price begins to flow, and hopefully we can get some form of a good bias as to where price is going. Listen, there's never any guarantees in trading. This is all about moving the percentage from 50 to 60 to 70 to 80. And if we're able to get something out of it, fantastic. Obviously, we want to keep our risk low, and we want to hopefully maximize our profits. So first and foremost, I want to start from the monthly time frame. We want to develop a higher time frame perspective of the market. And the first thing I'm going to do, by zooming out, you can see just by zooming out that price has been going higher from these levels over here. We can see that we've been going higher, right? So when we've got to this recent level here, price hit this FVG after breaking this monthly structure over here. We pulled back into this area, and we've shown the impetus there to push on higher. We finally got to a key area. Now this is a key zone. It's a key structural area, right? Whereby we can call this monthly market structure. And we are essentially seeing here, let's just put this in here, monthly market structure. This is a key area. Why? Because usually you tend to get price at these levels begin to turn around again, right? Eventually begin to turn. So we just got to be aware that we're at a key level here. Price has finally kind of hit this level. And therefore, it's just good to know. It's good to know. What I'd also like to do is potentially go back a bit. If you go back to the 6 month, even the 12 month, right? Technically, we've taken the We've taken the 6 monthly high. So we've gone and taken there, this 6 monthly buy side liquidity. So what I'm looking at is, I'm going to put this in there just so for my own reference here, 6 month buy side liquidity taken. So would I be surprised if we started seeing some movement this way? No, I wouldn't be. If we started getting price moving a bit more bearish as a result, it wouldn't surprise me. And as you can see, price has already done that. We can see that price at this level, we've got just a slight bit of selling pressure coming into the market from this level. And it makes sense. Not only are we taking out the structure area, but it's also a 6 monthly and a 12 monthly liquidity sweep as well. So we've just gone above the previous year high, which is quite amazing, and the previous 6 month high as well. Now, what do I want to do? I want to determine what the monthly is actually doing. What do I believe the monthly is doing? What I believe, having come in and created this low over here, we've created this low. Price has not been able to go beyond the lows, so I believe we're still going higher, right? But at this point, we've reached this particular area, and we're seeing some pullback. So I believe price is pulling back. Well, what we don't know is how strong this pullback is. I don't know if this pullback is a case of creating new structure. This is what we're going to prove. Or if this is just generally a pullback for us to continue higher. So this is what we need to prove for the New York session. I'm doing this bias for the New York session. All right, so this is what I'm trying to figure out. So at the moment, monthly, I will say overall bullish, but we're starting to see some selling pressure. So that's what I'm going to put here. So monthly, I'm going to say overall bullish, but seeing selling pressure at 6 month high, previous high taken. Okay, so that's my perception on this. So what I need to determine now is, and this is going to be the job. This is the job of the trader. We need to determine whether price wants to continue for New York session higher or whether it wants to reverse. That's all we're going to do. That's all we're doing here. Right? I'm just doing it, giving my thoughts on this. This isn't financial advice. I'm not asking you, telling you where to place your trade or whatnot. I'm just looking at where I think price could be going based on just the higher time frame. Right? I don't want to go against my higher time frame. I want to trade within the context of my higher time frame. Okay, so for example, now if we go to the weekly again, we've got to this. This is the key area again, 6 monthly, and we can see the selling pressure coming in again. So overall, the weekly has been bullish, but we are starting to see this selling pressure coming in to the market. So it's almost a similar description here. If we go to the 2-day, I haven't seen any major. The liquidity sweep I have seen, or we have taken, is the 6 monthly one. So we have taken buy side liquidity of the 6 monthly high, which is really important, and the 12 monthly, the yearly high. Okay, we go to the 2-day. The 2-day shows us that between Wednesday and Thursday, price has respected the last 2 days. So you can see that we have gone bearish, or there is some type of bear impetus here, because you can see that price is not going above this high. So the 2 days giving us an indication that potentially we may see some further downside on this move. And to be fair, there's a lot of imbalance in this chart for price to be able to come into these areas to push back up again. So overall, for me, the market still remains bullish, but I think we're seeing some movement there. Should I really comment on this? Does it give me enough to really comment? I don't think so. It does give me a little bit more. If this is the 6 monthly high, for example, over here, we're reacting off that. We've closed above it, but we're reacting off it. Price could easily do this. So I'm not going to jump to any conclusions, but from a trading perspective, the 2-day, it's not really telling me stuff. If anything, it's just proving to me that we attempted to go higher, but we respected the high. We've now been trading down. So I'll put bearish, and I'm going to say selling pressure after 6 month high taken. So it's showing me bear. So at the moment, overall bullishness on the market. I'm not saying that we've gone bear, but we are acknowledging that from this point to this point, the sellers have come in. Does that mean we're going to sell? No. Does that mean we're going to buy? No. What we're saying is, from what we can see, price has been moving higher, respecting the order block, creating FVGs, and has finally taken out this buy side liquidity. And then today is showing that price has just lost a bit of steam, lost a bit of bullish steam. We haven't just continued higher. We're seeing some form of a potential bearishness coming into the market. Okay, so am I right to say overall bullish, but seeing selling pressure? I think I am, because that keeps me on my toes, understanding that we are still potentially in an overall bullish market, but we may see bearish movements today, potentially. So it's almost like being able to say, for example, I'm in a bullish market, price is going up, but today, so for example, price is going up, but today's trade could be that of a bearish move in a bullish market, right? So I think that's the key, being able to see that. Is that what we're having? Is that what we're seeing today? Are we seeing price pull back within the context of a bearish market? So this is what we're trying to develop. We want to develop the understanding of what price is actually doing. Okay, so if we keep on going, so for me, 2-day, I'm saying bearish. It looks like that. Selling pressure after, but it's not enough for me to just make a decision yet. So we'll go to the daily. Now, this is quite interesting, because if we go back to the 6 monthly, I don't want to do that. Let's just get rid of these lines. If we go back to the 6 monthly, I'm gonna take that off and I'm gonna use this horizontal ray. Right, boom. So that's the level. We go back to the daily now. The daily after closing beyond this level, it's then now put in another candle, which creates a daily swing high. All right. So price has created some form of structure here. For me to want to know, to see that price wants to continue, we'll need to break through this level for me, right? To continue higher. So for me, I'm of the mindset that we could be seeing price retrace, or we could be seeing further pullback today in today's market. Now, what I also want to highlight is that previous day high has been respected. So in other words, when the market opened with this gap down, it went higher only to respect previous day high. So again, this for me shows me that price is respecting the highs and pushing lower. Right? If it wanted to go higher, it would have broken through. Now, just because you respect the high doesn't mean we're going to see. I would want to see some clear break of structure. I would want to see some clear movement to show that price is indeed dropping. Okay, but what I am saying is that this looks like, from this structural point and the fact that we got this respect of this particular high, it feels like we've hit a ceiling, and price don't want to go any further. So most likely price may be dropping. But again, time will tell. Okay. We can look at 12 hour. Okay, the 12 hour is fascinating because we hit this FVG over here, and then we couldn't get beyond this level, and we're creating. For me, we'll have to wait and see. Price could easily go that way. I think we just got to wait and see. But let's call the daily. I think the daily also crazy. Maybe, just maybe, the daily also doesn't have necessarily a clear path, right? What we can say is respect of previous day high, but in limbo. So what is, again, is not enough. It's not strong enough. It's not strong. So the selling pressure that we're seeing in the monthly and the weekly, this is it. Yesterday's candle pushing down, but then the buyer's coming strong back again. And then today's price reacting at previous day high and then pushing down, but again, it's not bursting through. So that selling pressure, this is it, these two candles here, this from this top here all the way down to this point here. But I think we need to see more to determine whether price is bearish or not. I don't think we can call price bearish, especially when overall we've been moving higher. It's never good to go against the trend. Price has been moving higher for a period of time now, so we want to kind of hold that idea. That's why we've got overall bullish market. All right. So we got respect to previous high, but in limbo, which means there's a potential that price could still be moving to the bull. All right, let's go to the 4 hour. All right. And on the 4 hour, we can see here that after price, let's go back to the 12 hour actually, price reacted off this FEG. It's important to highlight this. So when we pulled back, we hit the FEG, but we haven't been able to break through. Okay. On the 4 hour, again, this daily structure level for me is the key. We've pushed in, put in another swing point. So for me, you got high, you got low, you got lower high. I think price needs to break through for me to be convinced that we're going that way. At least take out previous day high. A close above previous day high would give me confidence that maybe price could go higher. Okay, so, and then if we go to the 1 hour, yeah, I personally, I think, this is my personal view here, that in order for us to consider price being bearish, we would need to have a strong break of structure this way, and I can't see it happening. That break, I would have to see something happening aggressively that way. I have a feeling that price actually is moving. Potentially, we're seeing a respect of this order block. We go back to the 4 hour. Do we get any respect? Potentially respect of this order block. So we're seeing order block respect. And then the 1 hour seeing potential, and it's all potential. It's all potential. So from a higher time frame perspective, I think maintaining the bullish perspective is the right thing, unless price starts to aggressively break these levels, which I don't think at this moment in time is quite far away from. So I'm not sure if it will do that. So holding to the bullish overall picture, I think is the right thing. We've seen the market move bearish for London, does not mean it's going to move bearish for New York, right? In fact, I think potentially looking at how this candle and the next couple will play out, we could be in for a move like that, especially if we're leaning off of this order block. So let's clear this up a little bit. So if, for example, what we're saying is yesterday's candle reacted off this FEG, so this was the area of support, right? Price today has continued to hold this level. So within this 12-hour FEG, we have this 1 hour order block, right? And within this, from this 1 hour order block, we create another order block right here. In other words, price has found support at this level and support at this point, right? We are putting in higher low, we're putting in higher lows over here, higher low over here, a low over here, right? So, and we haven't really broken aggressively. We haven't broken structure aggressively. So maintaining a bullish bias is my thought process. Monthly, we'll do that again. Monthly, overall bullish. We're seeing selling pressure, but not enough. There's no crazy aggressive selling. So it just looks like a pullback. On the weekly, we're seeing overall bullishness. We are seeing price reject at this point, but again, it's not strong enough for me to just say, all right, cool. Sellers have taken over. And then you go to the 2-day, see that we're bearish on this level as well. And then on the daily, we can see that yesterday we tapped into this level, and today we've tapped again, but we haven't been able to push on. And I think that's the key. This candle here today, yes, we've retested the high, but we haven't broken through. What you would have wanted to see is the high being tested and then aggressive selling coming in, which we're not getting. So for me, price action, you've got to maintain your current overall bias, because there's nothing to suggest changing your overall bias. So for me, the daily, although it's respected previous day high, that limbo really is but maintaining bullish bull bias until price proves otherwise. Okay, so there we have that's so I'm holding, ultimately I'm holding a bullish bias here, right? Across from monthly, weekly, 2-day, and daily, I'm holding a bullish bias. And then when we go to the 4 hour, I think we can begin to put this together and say, well, 4 hour looks like we're getting order block respect. I mean, we've respected it here. Yes, we came down bearish from London, but we have not been able to, personally, it's a tricky one today, to be honest with you. I think it's very, very tricky. Price, I wouldn't be interested in selling this, even if we break beneath here. No. I would want to see price break further. I would call it a day. I wouldn't get involved today. If I would wait, I would chill. If I can't see it clearly, if I can't see a clear direction, I would chill. For now, I'm maintaining my bull. The bullish idea, I'm maintaining it. And what I'm hoping to see is price continue that way versus this way. Now, someone might argue, well, you got to do what you see. If price breaks through and potentially gives us a retest on this area, maybe I will. Maybe there is something to work with to this level here. Maybe. But ideally, I'd want to see the bullish bias maintain itself, and for price to go higher from there. So I tell you what, today's a little bit tricky. It's not like we've taken a previous day high or previous week high, and we can kind of understand where price has already been, so where it would want to go next. It's kind of still stuck in the middle between this point and overall this point. So it's almost like we've kind of gone sideways. So that's probably why it's a little bit more trickier. So my argument then in that case is, just hold. There's nothing to do. The bias on the higher time frame isn't so clear. And when it's not so clear, the best thing to do is just to kind of chill. So when you look at it from this perspective, the range between previous day high and previous day low, yeah, I would wait, because I kind of want to know what price is going to do once it takes this level, or what price is going to do when it takes this level. Would it go back or would it do that? So for me, guys, it's a waiting time. It's a waiting game. I wouldn't push. There's no need to force a move. There's no need to stress a move. We picked up good moves. Even last night, there was a good move here. We picked up this move over here, all the way up into this level here. So there was a move. And we maintained the bullish bias. But today, without actually taking any low or high, I don't want to force it. But I do want to maintain my bias, want to maintain that we're bullish, but doesn't necessarily mean the bullish setup is available, and therefore I'm going to hold. So for today, I am not doing anything until I get a clearer picture. Okay. And so we'll see how that plays out. And this is trading. Sometimes you look at the market isn't giving. What do? You stay out. You stay out of the market. You don't have to trade every day. Trading every day is not the way you're going to be profitable. If you look at the market and it doesn't look right, just chill out. Yesterday for me was probably the last day that we could have got a good move without having taken previous day high or previous day low, because we're looking at this market from having taken it and then pulling back. So we're maintaining this kind of bullish idea, right? I still think we need to maintain that bullish idea, but I think after we see the news come out, we'll get a better idea of where price is. I tend to come into the market after the news, so around 2 p.m. is when I'm looking to really action something and see where we can go from there. So guys, I'm gonna call it a day. No trade is a trade. So just because we don't have a bias, I don't have a confirmed bias today. So because of that, I am just gonna chill, and we're gonna wait to see what happens as the news comes out. All right. Lovely. We'll call it there. Cheers.